Hello there, and thank you for stopping by to check out broadcast number two. In this episode, we'll be explaining what environmental psychology is, why it's important, and how you can use your immediate environment to start making your life better by a lot. Well, maybe not quite that much. Let's begin by defining what an environment is. An environment refers to the surrounding conditions, factors, and influences that affect the living and non-living components within a particular area or system. It includes both natural and man-made elements that interact to create the context in which organisms or objects exist. Natural environment, however, includes all living, biotic, and non-living abiotic things that occur naturally. This encompasses ecosystems, weather, climate, landforms, water bodies, and air. Think forests, oceans, deserts, and mountains. When it comes to built environments, that's going to consist of human-made surroundings like cities, buildings, roads, and infrastructure that provide the setting for human activity. Social environment, on the other hand, encompasses the cultural, social, and economic conditions that influence people's lives, including societal structures, institutions, relationships, and communities. With respect to work environment, we're referring to things like physical and psychological conditions in which people perform their jobs, such as office space, work culture, and interpersonal relationships. Finally, we come to the understanding that the environment as a whole plays a massive role in shaping the behaviors, health, and survival of living organisms, including humans. Simply speaking, this means that where you spend most of your time is going to affect you on some level or another. We're talking about places like your home, or more specifically, the rooms you occupy, like your living room, kitchen, bedroom, wherever. This can also include where you work, such as your office space, cubicle, desk, or production floor. Even places where you socialize, like bars, clubs, parks, and so forth, they all play a part. These locations influence how we feel and think. This is a bigger deal than it may seem. Now, here's why. Place Matters, the environment we create shapes the foundations of healthy development, is a study published through Harvard University. This research discovered the following. Rapidly advancing science around early childhood development provides increasingly clear evidence that, beginning before birth, these environmental conditions shape how children develop, which shapes their lifelong physical and mental health in turn. Another study, published in Max Planck Gesellschaft, or the Max Planck Society for the Advancement of Science, released findings explaining that for almost all behaviors, humans were more likely to behave similarly to the majority of other non-human species living in the same place than those elsewhere. And what does that mean? Our environments condition much of how we feel, act, and yes, even think. Published in the Newport Institute, our everyday surroundings have a powerful impact on our mood and emotions. A dark, cluttered room evokes different feelings than an airy, light-filled space. But the impact goes beyond our immediate reaction. For example, one study found that living in a cluttered home can actually stimulate the production of cortisol, also known as the stress hormone. Interestingly, in the same study, the Newport Institute article conversely explained that environments with natural elements, such as sunlight and views of greenery, are associated with better cognitive function and mood. It was found that students exposed to sunlight and views of nature performed better in academics, and patients recovering from surgery who were in rooms with views of nature healed faster than those with just views of walls. In other words, a nicer environment is going to make you feel better. And if you feel better, you're more likely to do things that are productive and in your best interest. Welcome to the growing field of environmental psychology. So, what is it exactly? Environmental psychology is an interdisciplinary study that explores the relationship between behavior and the physical environment. It examines how people interact with and are affected by their surroundings, including natural, built, and social environments. The goal is to understand how these environments influence emotions, thoughts, and actions, and to apply this knowledge to improve both the environment and human well-being. The study came about in the late 1960s and early 1970s. It was about this time when there was a growing awareness of environmental issues, urbanization, and the impact of the built environment on human health. Harold Proshansky is often considered to be a key figure that popularized the study. He and a number of his colleagues at the City University of New York helped formalize the field. His work focused on how the environment impacts identity, behavior, and well being, laying the foundation for what will become modern environmental psychology. Environmental psychology continues to grow, influencing areas like sustainable design, urban planning, workplace design, and efforts to address climate change. A number of major universities such as Cornell, Drexel, and Irvine offer undergraduate and graduate studies in the field, including a growing number of international schools like the universities of Groningen in the Netherlands. Applying the findings from environmental psychology studies have produced highly effective real-world results. According to a fellow's workplace wellness trend report referenced in Forbes, a quality workspace design leads to a less stressful and more productive atmosphere. It's essential that employers take the physical work environment of their employees into consideration. Employees need to feel comfortable and calm in their physical work settings to produce their best work. The article also references another workplace study by the Global Impact of Biophilic Design. It revealed that people who work in spaces with natural features reported 15% higher levels of overall well-being. Furthermore, the respondents expressed feeling 6% more productive and 15% more creative at work. Okay, so clearly the environment makes a difference in how well we live our lives. The evidence shows that if you live or dwell in a great place, you have a stronger chance of making better decisions and an improvement in your overall performance. Function in the proper environment for long enough, and generally you become healthier and earn more money. Yay. I bet I know what you're thinking. What if I don't live or spend most of my time in a supportive environment? What if I'm one of those who was unlucky and stuck in a crappy backdrop? Am I doomed? Yeah, kinda. What? Whoa, settle down. Maybe doomed isn't the best word. But there is no denying that if someone remains in an environment that works against them, such as one without windows, proper air, appropriate lighting, or in the extreme sense, filth and hordes of clutter, it's highly unlikely that person will get very far. Okay. That is, unless some changes are made. Well, duh. In most circumstances, you can alter your surroundings to benefit you. Now, you don't have to turn every environment into one that willfully nurtures you. That would, of course, be ideal, but we don't live in an ideal world. Try to adjust the rooms and spaces you find meaningful or occupy most of the time, and then, if possible, expand from there. Here are some basics to get you started. Identify which rooms and areas you spend most of your time. These are often your bedroom, living room, kitchen, office, or workspace. Determine if you can alter the environment. Not every space is 100% your own. Many of us share a home, rooms, and working space. If you can't alter the environment, do what you can. There are those who resist any changes to their environments, and that can be an issue. In those particular situations, try to identify what is fairly your designated area or space, and then make changes there. That can actually still be quite effective. The third suggestion is to go ahead and declutter. The easiest and often fastest step is to remove excess and unused, unnecessary, or unwanted items. This act alone is sometimes all you need. Decluttering frees up space and makes everything feel bigger and brighter. If you share a room or space, just declutter your side. The fourth tip is to organize what remains. Get to know your remaining stuff. Try to categorize it and place everything where it should go based on use. If you have a hard time with this, listen, don't worry about it. Just make two categories: things you use often, things you don't use often. You can always come back later if you need to. And if you can, try to go ahead and bring in some natural light. Natural lighting is obviously going to make the room feel brighter, more enjoyable, more relaxed. Finally, the sixth step, maintain. Keep everything organized, be consistent, make sure everything remains in order for as long as you possibly can. The idea is to coexist with your environment in harmony. Our surroundings should help sustain and assist with our growth, not hinder it. You might be thinking, there's just no way decluttering or organizing my space makes that big of a difference. No way. Here's the thing. Surprisingly, it does. The case for finally cleaning up your desk. An article published by the Harvard Business Review wrote, scientists at the Princeton University Neuroscience Institute have used fMRI and other approaches to show that our brains like order, and that constant visual reminders of disorganization drain our cognitive resources and reduce our ability to focus. They also found that when participants cleared clutter from their work environment, they were better able to focus and process information, and as a result, their productivity increased. Oh, there's more. Published in Psychology Today, the many benefits of decluttering article states the following. Clutter creates chaos, which impacts your ability to focus. It also limits your brain's capacity to process information. Clutter is a form of visual distraction, which increases cognitive overload and can reduce working memory. If your space is unorganized and filled with clutter, it can be difficult to focus or concentrate. Research has shown that people are less irritable, less distracted, more productive, and better able to process information with an uncluttered and organized work area. It's kind of amazing that something as simple as eliminating clutter can have such profound benefits. Another interesting tidbit about altering our environment is how it helps men and women over 40. There was a study called Choosing Restorative Environments Across the Lifespan, a Matter of Place Experience. It explored the restorative potential of both natural and built environments and how they impact people's experiences across different life stages. From the study, results show that natural and built environments can have different restorative potentials in relation to the stage of the lifespan. In other words, the study found that healthy environments can have a rejuvenating effect on people as they age. Technically speaking, if you're over 40, studies have shown you can ease the aging process and, to some extent, revitalize yourself with the right environment. Now, to be clear, this isn't anything magical. Decluttering and reorganizing your environment isn't going to suddenly make you young again or shower you with good luck and riches. It just gets a lot of what messes with you becoming a better person out of the way. In the same way a good night's sleep allows for a clear mind, or eating clean, protein rich foods sustains energy, or using the internet as a means to find answers to questions, the proper tools allow for a naturally beneficial progression of yourself.
Focus.
Believe it or not, you are already whole and can accomplish nearly anything you want. The problem is that we all have interferences. Rearranging your environment, that's going to reduce those interferences. The scientific community recognizes this. Environmental psychology has become a field of study that continues to attract experts and scholars from multiple disciplines. These include people like geographers, economists, sociologists, educators, and so forth. In closing, here are some final thoughts. Changing your environment can feel overwhelming, there's no doubt about it, especially if you piled up a lot of stuff. I know, I've been there. However, once you get past it, once you actually declutter and reorganize the rooms, or space you've chosen, you're going to feel great. There's a wonderful, refreshing sense of accomplishment that lingers for a long while. It's also crazy infectious and very easily can spread throughout your entire home and beyond.
It's so clean.
Enjoy this if it happens and allow yourself to do things you didn't think you could before. In the upcoming video, we'll be delving into a more structured way to turn your environment into a tool that actively works for you. Imagine that. There are ways to leverage various rooms and spaces to further goals and objectives like losing weight, finding love, and yeah, even earning more money. I'm talking about feng shui, but not in the way most people think of it. I'll share with you more the next time. If you enjoyed this video, please tap that subscribe button, and if you didn't, well, thank you for watching nonetheless. Please also be sure to check out the channel's website at midlifeassets.com for more information. Until the next time, thank you again for watching, and cheers.